These are 12 Lego islands for every month of the year, and I have exactly 12 days to build every popular holiday on them before my time runs out. Starting with the island for January, a month of fresh beginnings and blistering cold, where minifigures can reflect on what they'd like to improve in the coming year. I, for one, want to fix my terrible upload schedule. It's gotten to the point where I'm spending 2 months working on each video, and it needs to stop, which is where the challenge comes in. I'm giving myself a strict 12-day time limit to build all 12 islands, film everything, edit everything, and upload this video at the end of day 12, no matter how much progress I have done. I don't even know if it's possible to finish every holiday, but I'm gonna build this Father Time minifigure and stick him in the middle of the islands with a big ol' clock hand to help keep track of my impending deadline.
Time comes for us all.
That's creepy, but as long as we can build fast enough to stay ahead of the clock, we should be totally fine. Wait, it's midnight already? Yeah, so that first minute of footage literally took me all of day one. I wish I was joking. I'm gonna have to lock in if we want any hope of making it to Christmas, or even February at this point. And as you can see, each month is also gonna get its own appointed guardian to help beat Father Time, with January's rep being Jack Frost. He's walking around barefoot on the snowy island base like it's nothing. Bro's built differently. The shoreline, however, is built with all these different sized slope pieces that give it a lot of texture. And I've left room on top to build Jack a New Year's party, even though technically the fun part of the holiday happens in December. But I didn't want to build a gym he would only go to once. So I marked out the foundation for a mini Times Square celebration instead.
Did someone say time?
How is it already 11? No, Times Square. Because nothing says Happy New Year's like a bunch of skyscrapers in the Big Apple. I actually had to spend a good chunk of day one cleaning up all the skyscrapers I built in my last video. My studio was an absolute disaster after finishing that project at 3 a.m. But that let me replace all those green base plates with blue ones and bring back my neglected Lego city called 27ville, which is made up of different islands in addition to the 12 I'm trying to finish in a quarter of the time it took me to make each of their respective videos, which is terrifying. Anyways, for Mr. Frost's island, I added 6 more towers to finish off the square, basically. They're all kind of drab looking, but don't you worry, every last inch of them will be plastered in ads like this one anyways. I found all these different printed pieces to attach to the sides of the buildings. Not exactly sure what some of these things are meant to be advertising, but I also brick built a few more recognizable logos, like McDonald's, Nike, Pepsi, this janky Apple one, and YouTube, who allegedly tweaked the algorithm so that comments are way more important now. I don't know if that's true or not, but if you like my videos and want to help me out, please drop your favorite holiday down in the comments and maybe share a fun story about it. I'd love to read them. Anyways, I'm really dropping the ball on time here, and I need to build the iconic ball drop before I fall another day behind. This bedazzled disco ball piece would be perfect if it weren't so annoying to use. Unlike most Lego boulders, which have separate top and bottom parts that actually connect together, this guy only ever came in the top half variety, and it's impossible to connect them back to back. Or at least it's impossible using traditional techniques. But by fiddling endlessly with tape, you can kind of almost sandwich them together. Kind of. Leaving a hole down the middle, you can slide a pole through just in time for the IRL midnight countdown. In 5, 4, 3. It's frozen. Jack! Okay, 3, 2, 1. Happy 2020X, depending on what year you're watching this. I'm going to bed now, and we'll be back tomorrow with day 3. We're already a quarter of the way through the challenge, and I only have 1 out of 12 holidays built, so I really shouldn't overcomplicate February's island, but a bunch of you suggested building Cupid a castle floating in the clouds for Valentine's Day, and I kind of want to do that, even if it's not the best use of my time to figure out. So to start, we need some way to raise the island up into the air, and this Lego pop-up book gives me an excellent idea. I erected a giant lime pillar rising up from the ocean to get a rough estimate on how tall I want my beanstalk to be. Normally I would spend several hours rebuilding this thing to be as detailed as possible, but we're working against the clock here, so I'm just gonna wrap some vines around the basic pillar. I don't like it, but I guess it's good enough to support this makeshift cloud. Don't worry though, I am gonna detail this by stealing the base of this Tweety Bird set. Sorry, the pressure's getting to me. This thing makes such great use out of these new rounded pieces to make it look genuinely floofy. And even though I don't have any more of them, I did my best with what I had to quadruple the floofy footprint so we have just enough room to build Cupid's castle. But I really need to start editing this video if I want to post in time. So I finished off day 3 cutting down the 5 hours of footage I've filmed so far. We've got our work cut out for us. To start off day 4, oh no. Let me properly introduce you to Cupid. He's a little overzealous as far as matchmaking goes, but you can't question the results. We're building him a Roman-inspired palace to expand his military operation. Good thing Rome was famously built in a day. But I'm actually gonna start from top to bottom. I am in love with these towers I designed, with a rotunda of windows, these red dome pieces, and even minifigure ski poles as the spires. Plus I even made a big one. So we've got these, but I have no idea what kind of palace should actually go beneath them.
Oh, that's kind of fun. Look at that.
Anyways, I'm just gonna attempt to make a bigger version of this unicorn castle set with lots of arches and pillars and this general arrangement of towers. Actually, it would also be kind of nice to have some little winged critters flying around the place like this, but not horses or cows. No, 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 no. Perfect. Not only are they pink, but whenever someone says, "I'll go out with you when pigs fly," boom, love arrow to the head. Inside the tallest central tower, Cupid sits on his ivory throne, where he keeps careful watch over the 4 corner towers I'm filling with the 4 tenets of Valentine's Day. This one can be a rose garden to grow all his prize bouquets, with this Roman aqueduct watering the soil, this gardener named Jerry, and Jerry's wife Susan. You do not want to know how Cupid set them up in the 70s. Tower number 2 is home to a prototype chocolate factory. I might be making a bigger one soon, so I tested out the different ingredients I might want to use on this chocolate conveyor belt. And the best part is, I can just package the rejects in this heart-shaped box. And even though some of them taste like toothpaste, no one will mind. Cupid's got beef with the tooth fairy, by the way. The 3rd tower holds his prized armory, where he stores all his love weapons, like love bows, love swords, love chainsaws, and that was the baby boom. And finally, Cupid keeps his treasure trove of gems and jewelry in the last tower. I'm not sure where he got them all, but his piggies polish and shine them up to provide people with the perfect romantic gifts. With these 4 facilities, Cupid's been on a crusade to make 2 of his fellow guardians fall in love. He hasn't had any luck warming Jack Frost's icy cold heart yet, and Father Time's just a lost cause, so he'll have to shift his focus to some of the others. Anyways, we can connect all the towers together with little chunks of wall, including this front archway with a golden gate to keep unhappy customers out. Now, with swine swooping and soaring the skies, let's precariously balance all our hard work on the spindly beanstalk. Okay, good. I did not have time to rebuild that. But that's Valentine's Day done. I used to love building my school Valentine's boxes out of Lego. And thanks to everyone who subscribed, I've been so blessed to be able to build things like this as my full-time job now. Even if I'm awful at it, it's day 5 already. We desperately need a quick and easy St. Patrick's Day build to start catching up. And luckily, this Harry Potter cauldron set will do just the trick. And that's not just a bunch of malarkey, because we can remove the spoon and this brand new indigo color from the top and replace it with Patrick the Leprechaun's favorite thing. Lucky Charms, you'll love to see it. Oh, and also gold. That's not as fun because he can't eat it, but he does enjoy swimming through the stuff like Scrooge McDuck. We're talking generational wealth here. The potato famine is scared of this man. Honestly, I could and should just stop there, but I also stole this 4-leaf clover to garnish the side, built up a whole shamrock-shaped island, gave him a robo-friend named Lucky, and I didn't even plan this, but where do you find a pot of gold? At the end of a rainbow, and we just so happen to have a perfect rainbow connection point literally right next door. By the way, Cupid tried to get Patrick to wear this t-shirt, but no luck there. Back to the drawing board, I guess. Anyways, I used 6 out of 7 Roy G. Biv colors, sorry Indigo, and stacked them all together in an alternating pattern of 1x2 and round bricks. Not only does it look like a Mario Kart track now, but it gives gives everything a slight amount of wiggle room so it can curve the whole thing into the iconic rainbow arch. Then I'll very strategically just kind of lean it between the cauldron and the cloud. I should really attach it somewhere over the rainbow, but we do not under any circumstances have time for that. This is gonna have to be good enough as we continue on to Easter Island. No, wrong one, sorry. This girl that the comments named Judy is dressing up as the Easter Bunny. And I'm building her an Easter-themed island where she can paint eggs and eat baby chicks using big ugly rock pieces as the base. I gave myself exactly 30 minutes to detail it with slopes. And even though the back isn't finished and there's a gaping hole in the front, we must press onwards to the grassy top. I shredded some bright green paper to make some of that weird grassy stuff in Easter baskets, which apparently is just called Easter grass, then just kind of spread it on the top. Perfect. I don't know why a 4x4 pillar is my go-to design when I'm in a time crunch, but we'll use a sideways building technique to attach 2 more identical pillars on either side, forming the cross of Calvary. And while all the bunny stuff is fun, this is what Easter is really about to me. Jesus dying on the cross as the perfect sacrifice for my sins, and walking out of that tomb 3 days later as proof that he was who he claimed to be, having defeated death forever. Obviously, you're free to believe what you want, but knowing Jesus as my savior has given me so much hope and peace. So thank you, genuinely, for always being so respectful when I share my faith. And that's not to say I don't love painting and hiding eggs too. That's such a fun tradition. In fact, I've hidden 12 Easter eggs in the background of this very video for you to find. Comment every single timestamp down below to unlock an egg-themed music video. Do you guys actually want that? Anyways, it's day 8 already. I am so screwed. It was a super busy weekend with church, my grandpa's 83rd birthday party. He actually custom built this Lego table for me as a kid. I did my taxes, I had to go to the dentist, and now I have beef with the Tooth Fairy. Sometimes life gets in the way. That's why I'm combining May and June to build Mother's Day and Father's Day together, since neither month had much else going on. The moms are getting a relaxing spa getaway, while the dads are camping out in the woods. I built up the floor of the spa using special sound absorbing materials because the dads are cutting down logs to build with right next door. These great big windows give the moms a beautiful seaside view. A view of the dads riding jet skis, while I used the lumber they collected to build them a log cabin. These 4 corner posts let me attach logs on their sides, anchoring them in with Technic bricks for a very satisfying result. I almost used an illegal building technique here above the doorway, but I didn't want to be as sloppy as official Lego sets I've gotten, so I replaced these bricks with panels instead. Then we can cap off all the corners with as many wood print tiles as I own, leaving the back looking kind of rough, especially since I even ran out of logs and had to resort to using barrels to finish it off. But for the spa walls, I individually placed 250 little leaf pieces as well as some flowers to make one of those trendy green walls. Then, because that wasn't tedious enough, I also assembled a bunch of these vertical boards that I stacked up to create this cool wooden slat wall. Both grinds were well worth it though, because this looks incredible. Plus, moms deserve it. Which reminds me, I still need to assign a guardian over each of these islands. And the only legendary figure I can think of with Mother in the name is Mother Goose. No, hey, Mother Goose! Okay, how about Mother Nature instead? She probably fits better to this spa anyways. And then I can't think of anyone with Father in the name. Oh no. I guess Father Time's just one of the boys now. And I gave them a fireplace to stand around and silently stare at. It's a guy thing. The moms are anything but silent, as I added in the lounge chairs for them to get professional massages on. And the dads each get their own recliner they've left imprints in after sitting in them for so long. They're lighting some lavender scented candles in the spa, while the cabin has its own, unique scent. We've got a jacuzzi pool over here with a soothing waterfall feature, and a pool table over here they'll spend hours honing their skills at. Finally, each building needs a roof, and I know my dad would appreciate a stuffed deer head mounted above the entrance to the cabin, but using skeleton arms as its antlers didn't look quite right. So I literally built an entire deer into the structure of the roof so its head could be poking out the front. Complex problems require complex solutions. Also, this corrugated red roof is a pain to keep assembled. And the spa's roof wasn't a whole lot easier. I lined the edge of the walls with slopes and curves, plopped a skylight in the middle, and connected it all together with tiles, bringing smiles from both mothers and fathers alike. Actually, Cupid was the matchmaker behind most of these parents' meetings. But even after emptying his quiver on Mother Nature and Father Time, he just couldn't force a spark between them. If he was gonna succeed in his quest to set up 2 of the Guardians, he'll need to take some more drastic measures. Oh, and even after his nice vacation, he's still gotta be like this. Fine. Every single 4th of July, my brother and I send each other this potato quality video of Daffy Duck blowing up his neighbors' houses with fireworks. And I really want to recreate that scene in Lego. But first we need to build a fireworks production facility. It's not a factory. Production facility. They're totally different. I suspended this platform above the ocean. We've kind of lost the island concept as time's gone on. But for the walls, I'm obviously using red, white, and blue to represent America. We've got broad stripes at the base, and this top blue section that I slightly violently spangled with bright stars. If I had 50 of these bad boys, that would be incredible, but simple studs also do the trick. For the front wall, I used a combination of wedges and hinges that somehow fit together perfectly to create a giant star as a patriotic centerpiece. It honestly makes this look more like the Puerto Rico flag, but on each of the side walls, we've got aerial loading docks for supply shipments to come in. The left side for paper, and the right one for gunpowder. At least that's how I think you make fireworks. This is Boomer, the Guardian of Independence Day. His job is to keep the facility running on schedule, unlike me, so they can do a big blowout sale on the 4th, like furniture stores for some reason. So far, their only customer has been Jack Frost. So Boomer assembled an elite squad of stunt performers featuring himself, Duke, and Jet, who all perform daring feats to drum up more business. Like juggling sharks, motorcycling across a tightrope, and even spelling out words in the sky. It's a pretty dangerous life though, and if anything were to happen to Boomer, he's named Duke as his plan B, with Jet being 3rd in line. 2nd in line. But they use all the supply drops to pump out fireworks with the help of Starry. We've got a shelf full of small ones, this medium one from Toy Story, and Big Bertha. Everyone's kind of terrified of Big Bertha, so they've never actually tested that one. But when the time eventually comes, I built the roof on hinges so we can open up and clear the launch pad. The fact that said roof makes the whole facility look like a giant firework is very fun. And I even snuck in a tiny bit of greebling detail on each of these top quadrants. Okay, Daffy, I think it's finally time.
Happy 4th of July!
All right, August has absolutely nothing in terms of holidays. What, National Underwear Day? Banana Split Day? No! Thankfully, I planned ahead and was born this month, so this island will be celebrating my birthday, and just birthdays in general. I want to build a giant cake for our guardian Willie here, because he sat in this one. So I baked 2 layers that are both darker on the bottom and stacked them together. Then we can spread some pink frosting here, a little pink frosting right there, and a tiny dab of pink frosting with a cherry on top. I made the stem with a hot dog. It feels like I almost never use pieces for their intended purpose, but for once I'm actually using these candlestick pieces for the 12 birthday candles on the cake. One for each person Willie's inviting to his birthday party, which Cupid made super awkward by suggesting everyone play Spin the Bottle. We're not doing that. But I did want to simulate some other party games like Pin the Tail on the Donkey, Bobbing for Apples, and I took out some of my self-imposed stress on this poor piñata. Well, that was very therapeutic. And we can use its innards to build a giant gift box with a bow on top. It's actually the perfect size to smush the entire cake inside. And now I can finally blow out the candles.
I wish for more time to finish this video.
What? No, I shouldn't have told you. Oh! I don't think Christmas is happening, guys. And even worse, September is back to school month. Actually, I kind of liked school. And this nerd named Jet loves school. He's been looking forward to it all summer long while he worked at his summer job. And I mean, what's not to love? The students enter through the lunchroom and walk up the stairs to drop stuff off in their lockers before heading into class. This 2nd floor, by the way, is connected in the weirdest possible way. Normally, you'd support it from below, but we're out here attaching it to the ceiling like a big brain. Speaking of which, Jet always sits closest to the chalkboard in the front row of desks. Glad to finally be back. It was fun designing those flight suits that he and the stuntman flew around the fireworks facility with, but he was more excited to finally get homework again and finally get a chance to see his crush again, Skylar. She was the coolest girl at Lego High, and they even named her the Guardian of September. Jet was a nobody compared to her, but he had spent the last 3 months working up the courage to introduce himself. Hey!
Wait!
Watch where you're going.
Yeah, we're trying to learn about humans.
Maybe next time. For now, Skylar headed down to lunch, where she tried to tell her friends about the skate park she longboarded at over the summer. They didn't seem to be listening though, because the whole school was abuzz talking about the upcoming Halloween party. No one knew who had hung up this ominous poster for it, but everyone wanted to go. So let's thank the teacher, custodian, school nurse, and lunch lady for their service, and move on to October, where I'm gonna save some time by just using this haunted house set, so we can skip right to the night of the party. Very few teens actually convinced their parents to let them go, but Skylar didn't have to worry about that. She led the group as they slowly approached the door, reaching out her hand to knock. That was weird. The high schoolers had stumbled into the lair of Frankenstein, the guardian of Halloween. And he wasn't messing around. Everyone managed to escape through the creepy graveyard outside, except for Skylar. Well, unfortunately, Jet had to work the night of the party. But when he heard her scream, he borrowed the flight suit and blasted over as fast as he possibly could.
Stay away from her. You saved my life.
What? No, you saved mine. You're Jet, right?
Yeah. Hi, Skylar. I like your longboard.
Wanna try it out?
Well, I don't exactly know how.
I can teach you. If you let me try out that sick jetpack of yours.
The two made their way to Skylar's favorite skate park for Jet's lesson. He was absolutely abysmal at it, but he always got back up and kept trying. And trying, and trying, and trying. And by the end of the night, he was still awful, but they both laughed and talked the hours away. It's the dawn of the final day, and Jet had to rush home to help his parents cook the big Thanksgiving meal.
What's your family doing today?
I don't have one anymore.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Would you want?
Don't worry about it.
Would you want to join my family for dinner? As friends.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm getting too invested in the story. It's November now, and it's finally time to reveal how its guardian Tom went back in time to the first Thanksgiving to get turkeys off the menu. That's right, we're going back in time to the first Thanksgiving to get turkeys off the menu. In my original Thanksgiving video, I built a giant turkey on top of Tom's house because at the time, I couldn't figure out how to build a cornucopia. You know, that thing from the Fruit of the Loom logo. But after his mission was a success, our only option left is to give this idea another try. I sat down on the floor for some reason, struggling it out, and I could feel the space-time continuum slowly closing in around me. All of Tom's time travel had disrupted something with... Yeah, so it's day 48 now. Everything has gone horribly wrong. To tell the truth, I technically only made it to July before my time ran up, and once the failure set in, I just lost all motivation for this project, on top of a bunch of other excuses I could make. But I promised 1 million people that I'd post this video on day 12 no matter what, and I'm really sorry to disappoint you all. We're falling so behind on the release schedule. I am very aware of that, and this was meant to be a quick little thing to catch up, but looking at the sheer volume of stuff we built this video, the 2,000 clips I filmed, and the 25-minute runtime, it's no duh I couldn't do all this in 12 days. I'm a one-man team here, and I'm trying to work as hard as I can, but I've learned to be thankful. Thankful for what I can accomplish, knowing my limits, and taking a break when I need it. I'm also very thankful for you guys for being so patient with me while I figure this whole thing out. All right, sappy rant over. It's actually day 49 now, but let's finish what we started. I used every last dark orange piece I got from the pick-a-brick wall to meticulously sculpt the mouth and horn of the cornucopia. It kind of looks like a wizard's hat. But we can fill it with autumn leaves, pumpkins, apples, and those wax grapes that I would always crush as a kid. Now Tom can retire here in peace, at least until the Hunger Games begin. Jet's family loved having Skylar over, and now all he can think about is what to get her for Christmas, our final December holiday island. Father Time may have won the battle, but Santa's gonna help us win the war with this Christmas tree. Okay, that's a little small. How about this Christmas tree? No. Did you know Lego's made over 100 different Christmas trees across all its different advent calendars and winter village sets? This one here used to be the biggest out of all of them, and I considered using it for Christmas Island, but its record was recently obliterated by this massive $330 Christmas tree set. It's got a whole interior for Santa and his elves to live in, with a kitchen, arcade, toy workshop, and master control room. They're picking up all sorts of interference on that computer, but let's not worry about that for now. Because after all this time and numerous setbacks, we've finally filled every month's island with all 12 holidays. Take that, Daddy Duration. Switch the audio of this video to Klingon for a secret behind-the-scenes commentary, and let's count down to midnight one last time as Skylar and Jet exchange their gifts.
A rocket-powered skateboard?
A watch with a picture of us on it.
Hey, is that mistletoe?
Help me! Help!